Hello everyone, Hawky here, back with another sort of Convallaria video. So CN have done a bit of analysis on this counter roll bug fix. So we saw Tristan's damage earlier reduced by 19%. And what about the other character? And how does this work for everyone else? So the calculation logic of the restraint relationship. They talk about the counter roll mechanics has been optimized, not a problem fix. Magic attack improvement conversion of Nidia and August. The word problem is written. The official meaning is very clear. So what is the optimization? They speak a lot of like mathy terms here. And the TLDR of this is, you know, these roll counters. Some skills, when they're have conditional effects in battle. So both skills, items, trinkets, tarots, when they have conditional battle effects, they don't get this decreased or increased damage when versing counter rolls. So I did some testing. It's the gear and equip skills effects that have a when clause, like a conditional effect in battle. So the 12% attack that you get from the Shield of Justice, this attack increase towards the damage isn't affected by the counter roll. So if Tristan uses this, this doesn't get decreased. Well, this part of the calculation doesn't get decreased by, was it 30% when she's attacking a Watcher? Or like if I had this on Nona Will, this percentage of this doesn't get reduced when I'm attacking a Defender class. Or if I'm attacking a Breaker class, the calculation of this doesn't get increased when I'm attacking a Breaker, when in fact it should be. And the way they word it is readjustment of the counter relationship, damage calculation. That is the A and B type attacks. Conversions are managed. Wow, what is this explanation? This is so confusing. Okay. And then they jump into like a whole math equation and everything. So, okay, and they go through the actual calculations of some damage. So let's have a look here. So the first one is Tristan. So when you're versing someone with, so being a destroyer, you're versing a Watcher, it looks like the difference is 23.6% damage loss. And it's so big on Tristan because destroyers, they're restrained by Watchers. Watchers is their counter roll. They have nothing that gets improved with. Yeah. So, and especially for Tristan, like not only is she a destroyer, so if I had this Shield of Justice, this 12% doesn't get decreased by Watchers, but this 12% also translates to more because of the Blazing Blood conversion as well. So the magic attack to physical attack, this isn't reduced, and the injured and then the effect doubling state isn't reduced when she's attacking Watchers. So a very large portion of Tristan's damage doesn't get reduced when attacking Watchers. And I did a few testings in my previous video. I did test Tristan herself, but I was testing equipment such as like Shield of Justice, Cloak, the ones with like conditional effects in battle, and comparing to equal sets of gear that give you straight up increases. Like Hourglass gives you a straight up increase, or I was testing with the Wolffang necklace, which gave me like a full-on increase in attack. I was comparing these two equips, both 4% attack, and this conditional effect just wasn't adjusted by this counter roll mechanic. Yeah, it's rough. So back on this graph here, or like calculation table, so this one is Estra. So she being a Seeker, so she does get 11.4% because of this update, this bug fix. She does get 11.4% extra damage against Breakers, and then she loses 17% against Defenders. So Estra is going to be, have more difficulty killing defenders now. Aisha, being a defender, she has 9.8% increase against Seekers and a loss of 15.2% against Breakers. And the reason being, like, Aisha and Estra, why it's such a big impact on them as well, is because they have these conversion skills which convert to physical attack or to, basically to physical attack. And this extra attack wasn't actually included in the counter roll calculation. So I feel like they're very significantly impacted there. SP Inanna, being a watcher, he gets a bonus, right? 6.3% increase against destroyers. Watchers don't have a counter roll, no restraint, and that's all there for SP Inanna. August does get... Wait, why is it no restraint on 4.5? Okay. So August skill, because what they're going at is this Rage Outburst skill. This 70% magic attack to physical attack. This was not actually calculated in the counter roll mechanics as well. So now he has a 7.1% increase against defenders, 4.5 against everyone else. Like, was it a 0.3% against Seekers? That's Nydia. Eden Gun, I have no idea who it is. Looks like it's not, not even reasonable. Some, like, destroying unit, I think. So, and they did some explanations here. So Tristan is a destroyer here and does not restrain any profession. So suffers from the greatest negative impact. Estra reduced. Yeah, no way for Seekers to defeat defenders. Aisha, so that they said that it was like a bit of a change, and then that they try to fix it, and then that they changed it back. August, is it worth it? Aisha, but in daily situations, impact will be smaller. Well, Tristan's the biggest victim here. Oh, Pan Duck with Onions, the guy who did like the original CN tier list. So Tristan was severely nerfed. The already weak destroyer has been made even worse. Unless he's the supermodel, it's not worth it. Estra was also completely nerfed. Anyone who used Estra knows that Estra does not lack the damage to kill the breaker units. On the contrary, it needs more damage to hit the defenders with physical shield. Now the now the defenders with shield could have been taken away at the limit. Yeah, so what they're saying is, before Estra was barely able to one-shot defenders with shields because she has her skills that ignore the physical shield. So before they can like one-hit KO, but now, like barely, just barely, but now she'll be nerfed and lacking the damage. This wave of pure negative optimization is purely negative. Taiwan server has been out for 2 years, and this problem has always existed. Since it had not been fixed, it should be regarded as a mechanism. Yeah, this is like the saying where if the bugs had been in the game for so long, they're considered a feature, not a bug, right? And then, yeah, it's just been so long for them to fix this and optimize this 2 years later. Only winner is Watchers. But from the data point of view, compared to the weakening of other characters, the enhanced values of the Watchers are not satisfactory. Like, I don't know. Imagine raising up these units, like Aisha against Breakers. Like, obviously, you shouldn't be versing like classes that counter you. But because these units were considered very overpowered, you would have committed a lot of resources to raising them up. Like, for example, in Global, I mean, August didn't really have that much of an impact. August has actually been buffed with this update. But Tristan, like, a lot of us were pushing her to 5-star, you know, for the extra damage and everything. But now this is going to be, she's going to have a suffer big damage loss against Watchers. Like we know Tristan shouldn't be fighting against Watchers, but I'm sure a lot of you have done so. Like it's, you know, there might be a few Watchers in the map. Tristan blows everyone else away, and she's still able to kill Watchers, but now she can't. But all this investment into these units for the sake of they used to be able to do, you know, one shots, but then they just can't anymore. Like, what if we wanted, like, for the people that are recommended to go like Tristan and skip Estra, maybe with this update you can't anymore because Tristan can no longer handle Watchers. So you need to bring someone else along to fight Watchers. You need to bring August, or you need to pull Estra because her damage is no longer enough. So I don't know. This is normal. Is it reasonable for an assassin to reverse the attributes and kill defenders in 1 second? It is wrong to have no restraint. This is not called weakening, it's a repair, reasonable repair. The only problem is that a lot of people in sort of Convallaria have just only discovered that these effects were not restrained, and then the problem was discovered in the test. They should open a permanent test server. I feel like the reason for this change, the biggest reason for this change is Parzival. They built and set up all the skills and effects for Parzival, and Parzival is a destroyer. And they're like, wait, why is Parzival so OP? Why can he still one-shot Watchers? And then they're like, oh, we need to test why this is the case, because Parzival shouldn't be this strong. And then after they did a bunch of testing, they're like, oh wait, we missed out this effect. It was screwing up the damage formula, so we're going to change it. We're going to optimize and fix the damage formula so Parzival can no longer one-shot Watcher class. Like, I think that's the main reason. Yeah, other games are unreasonable, but this game is really reasonable. This game only has numbers and no strategy. There's no such thing as restraint. If the numbers are high enough, you can kill them at will. Through the data, we know such optimization is not beneficial to players. A higher lower limit is more meaningful to general players than a high upper limit. Since the game is a numerical game, the damage of this nerf to destroyers is not small. A destroyer value is not much higher than that of Shattering Assault, but is only worthy of a 40% one-way restraint. It cannot cause even 10% more damage to professions, other than, yeah, for things like Light and Dark, either they, yeah, so in other games, like, you know, this Light and Dark class or roles, they should be effective against each other, weak to each other. It's not like that. Like, Light and Dark units, this is just only like a one-way road. I mean, we could say that destroyers have higher stats to account for it. But is it enough to combat, like, you know, being not able to counter any class and weak to Watchers? Like, strongest Watcher here is what? Simona. 1.5k attack compared to everyone else, like 1.6. That's not much of a difference, right? Only like, what, like a 10% difference in their, like, magic attack. The 10% higher. Nana, Taya. And if we look at the physical attack ones, right? Tristan's at 1.7, then Talion, Kia, Nangol, and then the SP and Nana's pretty low. Agatha's pretty low. That's a very large difference, I think. 1.4 to like 1.7. So that's like what, like a 20% difference. But it's still not enough to cover like the 30% from the counter roll. Yeah, or they introduce like a third roll, so this attribute table goes through like another triangle. Like, I don't know, destroyers are good against this like rainbow class, and rainbow class is strong against watchers or something, and then make another triangle there to make things more balanced. Restraint. No. No effect on Convallaria, because Convallaria does piercing damage. It's just converted straight to piercing damage, so yeah. Counter restraint should be defeated. Let's talk about counter rolls being removed. Multiple attacks a huge loss. Change them well, and destroyers just nerfed. Professional. Yeah. Category A, category B, unconditional attack increase, normal attack, and then we'll talk about the conditional attack increase, such as before attack, during attack. So just stuff with the when clause in the global version. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I guess the outcome of this is Tristan got nerfed against watchers. Estra got nerfed against defenders, so I don't know, mainly this is against like elites and mobs. Bosses don't have a role. And then Aisha's also reduced against breakers. Does that lower them like half a tier? Does it mean that, you know, we shouldn't 5-star Tristan anymore? Estra, I mean, we're only going to keep her at like 4-star. And then Aisha, is she even worth pulling anymore? I think she is still, I guess, but yeah, only real buff is SP Nana and August, but nobody cares about August anymore, right? And Nidia gets like a slight buff, but who cares about her either? Alright, I'll just leave that there. Like, I don't know when this will come to global. We'll need to like maybe test. I don't know what to think. I'll just leave it at that. I'll see you guys next time.